looks like MGC
should make it up. Does make it up.
Johnny is looking for.
Oh, big call onto the
Getting ignored now by the pros, right?
Yeah, I think they've found some answers to it. That's not to say that it's not super strong. It is still an incredibly strong hero. But there are just some answers that they've found along the way.
Nice XP for the Sven to be getting mid. Lifestealer has had to retreat to the jungle because he's level 4 and the Mars is level 6. That was a pretty messy fight.
It was, yeah. And a long fight, too.
Yeah, I think Dyer got most of the stacks. I think, just by virtue of Sandstorm.
Oh, baby! Having a hard game. Struggling to hit those. Struggling to hit
the team.
The power strikes. Johnny
so we see that
I think it's always very strong, but it's only really ever strong in the right hand, so... Is there a Brewmaster player that I'm not aware of? Maybe. I'm sure there is. I'm still learning these teams at the moment.
again, which, yeah, it's fine. It's also kind of nice versus Weaver because you give your team physical shield, obviously, against Weaver that is physical damage with this Geminate, and I know it was.
Yeah.
I think so. MGC can also pull Storm out of Zip with Vacuum, which
is the Hoodwink?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is the other support is normally meant to be Frankie. Like, kill that gets away would have been even less likely to happen.
Whole team draws on the map directly towards the Roche pit. They know they're in there. That big blue scary elect to pop the Halt this time. Oh, he's been silenced. He may not get a chance to pop the ult. The slow comes out. 2, 3. Oh, lands right at the feet of the fish. Oh, but gets the invisibility off. That clock is in a whole lot of trouble. The clock, initially throwing the hook shot because he thought something was about to happen in his favor, turns and runs after that Storm Spirit is eviscerated by the fish. We're talking about
with 1,800 HP.
Slardar is stalking. We've seen what happens to this Clockwork when those two jump on top of him, and Clockwork is gone. Trading 4 for 4. Yep. Initiate like that, unless he's got a team behind him. Looking difficult for Dyer at this stage. Just, I thought it was to try and stop them from finishing off that bug, but instead he just whiffs it and gets called out for it.
Yeah, so even though Ari... Oh, now Ari's just the...
Hands onto that rune. Oh, nice little snatch. And all of a sudden Storm Spirit will need a bottle refill.
Yeah, and that's kind of the benefit of when you run this Slardar mid is... You don't even...
A little tiny swarm on him? Like, he had plenty of time.
Yeah, I think that was just a...
Boo tries to run, but there is not enough Warcry in the world to save you from 4 heroes.
Yeah.
Looks like they're picking out.
That was a +5 for. And he's dead for 16. He's dead with no TP for 16.
He's got no TP. Oh, I mean, at least
on too much.
At least it's only.
The bushwhack tree.
Well, we had trouble. So last season in the division below this, I played in a team, I think, and
pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So I think that was, although it seems like a impression of Wise Mars there, he was getting the next wave. So they
We should see this Roche go down before the enemy team really can get in position, right? Not unless they mass port.
Yeah, I don't think...
Clinks does have...
I'd say it's pretty even draft. I think I like... You still got the magic queued up. I don't know. Still.
Roche time. With this corrosive wave, we should see this Roche go down before... Oh, they killed the Hoodwink Wind. Between some very scary heroes there, but the main damage dealer gets grabbed on the back by the Hoodwink. Doesn't matter though, Johnny, even with all his armor, goes down to the two very scary supports that are on top of him. But they lose the Ursa and killed pretty quickly. But Slardar, thinking about going in here, he does have a whole bunch of damage. The Sven pops his ult to punch some cogs. Filipino Fish doing his best to just get out of there as fast as he can. Huge! Blink forward. Whoa, awesome initiation from this Wyvern. Catches that Dire team with their pants down, and that crab is already dead. Looks like RFA is going to do our best to get out of there, but they're now diving your tier 3s. Behind him, maybe trying to bait that rat out of the bug out of position, but we'll see.
Wyvern was blessed with a regen rune, so he gets to stay. That's kind of a sad TP for the troll, and you can see
you need to be very, very careful here because Sven is waiting for you as well, and you might get the call off, but that Weaver does have a big, juicy ult. He gets in range to drop the urn, and the urn is going to be enough to deal with the rat. Drop.
Just at his build, he did have a...
Oh, Storm zips in, get himself a free Galvanized stack. Pick that Hoodwink on the side.
But at that moment, he's getting a Galvanized stack and then he's dying, so...
He needs to just get up that hill! He is away!
Ghost does have Shikuchi.
Ghost is chasing. Puts out the vision. How long till Shikuchi's back up? 5 seconds. Blood Grenade again. He elects to burn a second one. 2 seconds.
I think that was the blink reveal that killed the Wyvern. Which was a good kill. He was 7-0. So it's a lot of gold going to... Axe.
Ghost, 16 stacks on his Desolator, and a Daedalus now, and is doing the classic rat. Oh, elects to leave. Okay.
I think he should have walked up and hit it a couple of times.
Yeah, they need to be careful now. This is where...
There was no reason for him to go in. And his supports don't really offer a whole lot of damage. I mean, Ghost has been playing well, don't get me wrong, but this is
awesome. And then he brings it into the rest of the fight, catches again. Like that huge extended fight with that rod from Ghost was pretty big. I think it caught him off guard. I think it was pretty straight back into it. So just be prepared for that.
I mean, we also did see with the axe towards the end there.
Here I thought it was the Slardar doing the vast majority of their damage, but Lifestealer is starting to come online. Reverie trying to throw some damage from the high ground, but he might be pinned in. He forced himself down to... Have Ari on Lifestealer, Ghost on Hoodwink, MGC on Darkseer, Filipino Rules on Slardar, and Pee-wee on Sven. For Team Slaughter Gang, we have Huncho on Storm Spirit, RFA on Clockwork, Johnny on Mars, Slaughter Gang CEO on Weaver, and...
Same, yeah. I can't remember who it was instead of
Beast, so we're going to see the Weaver come out again? Yeah, but this time the enemy team decide to take it. Okay.
Makes sense.
Blink in, that is a huge initiation from the clock, and now the fish is caught out of position, and he might just go down as well. Big back wall. Is the back wall enough to save the fish? No, Slardar goes down. MGC hastes himself to get out. RE says, no, I'm not trapped in here with you, Johnny. You're trapped in here with me, and Johnny has to run, and run real fast. He chases him down with his ult and gets the burst off. And the clock is in a little bit of just a few patches ago where he just hits level 5 and he's under your tower and there's nothing you can do. And I feel like Primal Beast and Weaver both have the HP pools to just dive you as a position 1. And I don't know a lot of position 1s. And Clinks just drops 100 skeletons and they're just stuck there next to the skeletons taking damage. That sounds alright. Sounds pretty hype.
Yeah, and then your spend presses.
Decides not to haste Lifestealer, the person who has been carrying him this entire game. Lifestealer now going in on the clock, meanwhile the rat playing on the background. Ari does deal with the clockwork, but it does come at the cost of his support.
But it's a support pairing.
Where's the... I guess the Sven stun, it is a good stun, but it's not a super long stun. Off, Slaughtergang and RFA need to run! Haste on the Wyvern, and Wyvern is applying some damage. There's 2 supports there, and they don't have a really big HP pool, and this dragon has a whole lot.
The Dire are winning, it's on this Axe's back.
This Axe is having an awesome game. And again, I saw this in the first game of the last night series. Johnny was playing...
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna go for a Silver Edge, or it's just a casual Shadow Blade. I don't really see why you'd feel the need to go Silver Edge here.
This mid lane. If this turns into the slobber knocker that it looks like it's turning into, and both of the, let's say hypothetically both of these heroes accelerate, they both get a couple of kills in this. Just some harassment.
Yeah, it looks like he's down. The Wyvern does get away because of that, but oh, lag.
Looks like Filipino rules might need to be a little bit careful because he's posturing on Huncho here, but that bug is just waiting for nighttime to slither on in. Filipino rules takes a right click, thinks he might be safe.
But MGC does also have the possibility to pull off some nice little back plays.
Turns up and drops everything he has on it can hide from that much pain and fury coming out of the off lane. So
yeah, it's going to be tough. And Dire have 2 very... I think they just had the items on Radiant that just enabled them so much more than on Dire. As I said, they have two Desos. One that...
There is no Zeus on the page. He might be one of the unpicked heroes. Let's have a look.
So maybe...
Tier 6 that gets him over the top of the edge.
Yes, the epic... Oh, Marzarina.
Marzarina catches the rat, and the rat...
Yes, it's very weak if it's playing from behind, and it's not exploiting an advantage, but you give it...
Clinks do Clinks things. You know, playing in the enemy jungle, playing in the back lanes. He's got his Dragonlance, he's got his Desolator. We might see him start to have a bit more impact now, I think. Just takes...
I think it's kind of worth for... That was possible. I think that was still worth it for Radiant. Honestly.
And I also just like seeing Ursa in the game as well. And I suppose that Ursa also means that we won't be having a Sven 1. That probably relegates him to support, I'd imagine. Unless they go into that fish. And everything he has is about 300 damage. 350 damage. That's not a good sign.
Just in trouble.
For the...
Huncho no matter though, he's gonna die to the mistake on his part. Just calculated how much damage the hits were gonna do.
Axe calls Ghost once again. Ghost does not have his ult this time, at least for another 1 second. Glipnir comes down on top of him and his ult comes up just...
You're playing a hero with a blink and you just have a fucking bug on you that you have to then get. And as a Sand King, you're hitting it slowly. It's not like you can just get rid of it really quick.
It's coming up.
Oh, Huncho tanking.
Oh, Storm!
Oh,
need to remove aggro Storm if you're going to be underneath the tower like that. And all of a sudden the lane has equalized. Ooh, a stun. A bash.
Going for the Orchid after his Witchblade.
Johnny's blink.
Makes sense.
Oh, he catches the Darkseer. The Darkseer is juking, driving, doing everything he can to not get hit with that big old spear, but he throws the spear and actually throws him to his... you've got the catch. You're the person who can run that bug down, or silence it before it gets its ult off, or whatever it is. So it's always been like a hero that is super fun to play into as Earth Spirit because it gives you something to run after.
So much more reliable. And in terms of, you know, the storm can still zip. People can get big hippies off. It's harder to react when you get blink stun from Hog. Invincible. But that's not the case. I mean, that was the case during the lane because Filipino Rules wasn't buying any sentries.
Now this
and does have his innate. You don't need it, so I honestly don't know. But I know that pre-facets where you had the static slide. I still don't think it's good, but it's sort of it's less critical that you do well. And I don't think it.
Like a good Mars play. It's sort of hard to make Mars look good, because he is just an ult and a spear, but you know when you get in those like cheeky off-kilter side spears and spear backs and just perfect initiations. Blood Grenade comes out and Pee-wee's in a whole bunch of trouble, and that looks like a double kill for the offlane. The dire offlane.
Looks like Lifesteal was caught up far in the lane and just
looks like something's brewing here mid. Rev needs to be careful, there is a sentry down over here.
Yeah, there's a Aegis Lifestealer.
Oh,
meanwhile, two.
Doesn't need to go completely balls deep every time. Hey, you were right, it was 3,000 damage that came out from that axe in that last fight. 3,000.
Yeah.
Does he have a crush? He does! One more bash and he's
gonna get a
got
bash
him!
now, though.
One more slap! And it turns out the lane goes the way of the big...
a root on them at the start, you probably are killing them. So I definitely see the merit of it. He's going for a swift blink immediately after, which... Yeah, his BKB was a cooldown anyway, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was the Hex reveal.
Kiwi on Sven, Ghost Orb Weaver, Filipino Rules on Winter Wyvern, Huncho George on Sand King, Slaughter Gang CEO on Hoodwink, Johnny on Axe, RFA on Snapfire, and Reverie on... Rather than the Weaver, or do you just let them take the Weaver and try and answer it? Because it just ripped and tore up that entire game.
I mean, I think Ghost has shown that he knows how to play the hero in the way
that
it looks like they're gonna take Tormentor, which always feels good when you steal the enemies.
While they wait for their creep wave to do glorious bad. I don't think we'll see a kill here. There is a fair bit of damage coming out from that dragon, but the troll decides to finally come to a fight, and who could have predicted that the big farming scary troll would re-enter? Sven trying to zone the rat on the back.
He's losing 3, so if he keeps doing it, it's...
Well, when you first mentioned his galvanized stacks, he was on 8. Now, after all those kills, he is on 8. The dinosaur has come to play. Nat Sand King needs to run away. Hoodwink trying to hide in the trees, but there's so much damage coming out from the Primal Beast. Primal Beast slamming with...
That was 4, who is putting in a lot of work, of course, but he'll be back up soon enough. And Reverie's only got his Battle Fury, so he doesn't really want to be fighting, he just wants to be farming.
Waste as much time as he possibly can.
Yeah, and in that time you see them almost kill Reverie. Reverie's forced to ulti, and then the Wyvern just... Winter's Curses the Hood, and Hood
team's favor, so...
Yeah, he's getting some really good calls, and he's got this build where you lifesteal so much Sorry, like spell life steal. And problem was when Radiant was chasing after the Hoodwink, they don't have the burst that Dire does. So to kill someone takes a bit of time, and in that time, Dire were able, and you have to commit a lot to kill it or whatever. It feels fine because it's a core. But when it's a support and you have to commit so much to killing it, it feels bad because then all of a sudden their core.
Time for him to sneak away.
Yeah, the way the aesthetics capped. So.
Oh, meanwhile, are they just dive in base? They do. They dive base. They kill the rat, and down goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You always kind of want to go for those places, Storm, and then sometimes they don't work out, and then you regret it so hard afterwards, and you're just like, man, what a dude. On Ursa, I think he was enabled by his team. I didn't feel crazy impact from the Primal, but no. I would guess probably. You know, you're playing mid, you can run for the runes really easily with Q. But then, because he
and again. But what's surprising to me is that from my memory of this game, yeah, the Slaughter boys had as a melee hero is very difficult to pass into to play into. As I've played against the Storm Spirit recently, as Earth Spirit of him. Ooh, he pops his BKB because he's trying to get away, but it really doesn't matter because that is so much damage coming out from Troll. Troll's got a Shadow Blade. I didn't notice that.
We'll see if I'm assuming that'll be PPX playing it. We'll see if he can have as much impact as Ghosted, and they pick up this Fennec.
Very strong hero. Obviously, Collapse has been playing at 3, right, on Team Spirit with some huge success, but it's been traditionally more of a mid. So do we think we're though, or something?
You're guaranteed to drop an extra one when you drop one, and also I believe if you enchant a creep, it guarantees a drop.
We've time lapse. Is he in rage? Keep going.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's really the blink, or instead of Shadow Blade, you go blink missile or something.
Okay.
Because I think they're kind of lacking that hard lockdown, and unless you just man fight anyone so much better. I think they kind of just shit the bed in this lane by overcommitting and then dying for it, and especially the fact that
and a couple of right clicks from Troll did to the Primal Beast. That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty low armor, so the Shredder does do a lot.
Oh, hang on. Fair bit of damage coming out onto Filipino rules here. Just gonna slither forward, grab that rune.
Yeah,
and
he's got his 2
back.
braces and his innate, so
they take the fish with the Mars ult in the Radiant offlane. Just must be on the low ground there. Good catch.
Nice kill. I guess it was a smoke play.
Even behind. Big amount of gold there to Johnny.
I don't think he was expecting the rest of the die to show up, but if he'd just BKB'd and TP'd straight away, he would have been fine. But I think he thought that. The Troll was targeting, but you know, they go down. I think it was the Sanking. I think Reverie needed a BKB one, or ideally yourself. But he's just not really had the opportunity to do that this game, and you saw that they TP like straight away, and he had to just run, and he got out.
First time, right? There's a moment in the game. He decides to pop back.
This Sven has been getting some really crucial stuns. Stuns that he wasn't really getting last.
About
Yeah, the fact that Clinks is
I'm joking, by the way. He actually usually won the game for me on Clinks.
The fact that Clinks is innate is literally when he dies. I think they're okay. PPX is level 6 now. He was struggling to get some XP, but he's caught up now.
Most of these heroes and killing them solo. So we'll see. There's no like particularly hard heroes to kill for him on their team, at least for the first little bit of the game. Except the fact that your tier 2s are gone into this Clinks. But oh, hold on. They're trying to catch him again. They get the BKB out on that Storm Spirit, and here comes the Clinks, applying quite a bit of damage now, but there is a little Ogre Seal.
Worth.
He's
pretty much tied with the Clinks.
He's recovered. He's
I think
absolutely recovered.
From the benefit of getting these kills, because he was looking really
Silence
poor,
and a Rod come out onto the Storm at the same time, but holy shit, that fish just absolutely burst him, and he is dead.
So I would love to see it nerfed.
Yeah, look,
they could let the Wyvern kill the Axe. If it was just Ursa that they were relying on killing him, he's probably staying alive forever. But having a ranged core. It's okay, I think.
Storm Spirit zips in, lands directly in the middle of 3 heroes, and Ghost may have baited the enemy. And you miss out on the love from your position 3, but your position 3 does go for the call. Ooh.
But the Ursa doesn't commit there.
It's tingling. And this is the thing, is that they can dive pretty deep with the dinosaur and the bug. RFA elects to get his Sand King out, but it's going to cost him his life. Picks him up, puts him into the ground. Not much going to be left for him, though. John gang team, and watch how they play throughout it. And it's the first time I've casted this Austrian Painters team. Maybe when I cast them again, I'll get you to come along and we can see if they can tear it up as well. Twirl you the low ground. Johnny's here, but Johnny doesn't have his ult. Beautiful save from Ari there. Gets inside MGC. Looks like they might just sack. Yeah, sack Ghost.
Yeah, so I think they stayed there because they did have a Storm as well.
That is a shard that you want to get for free. That one right there.
Yeah, it's not amazing.